Hey, Aya,
Hello, hi Brandon.
how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. Oops, I thought I had my camera on.
Awesome.
I don't have my camera on. There we go. I think we're going to have we might not have anyone show up today. Like most people, it seems like they're
Yeah,
traveling or busy. So we'll wait a few minutes and see if people show up.
it's okay. Are you
Mm,
ready for your trip?
No, not quite, but I'm getting there. I'm working on it.
Did you find
Uh,
a did you find an accommodation somewhere to stay?
oh yeah, I got all that part taken care of. It's just, you know, packing and getting ready and all that. Is there anything I should know? Anything I should think about? Hey, Cubs, you guys have to coach me on.
Hello.
Hey, Cubs.
It's too hot. Just know that it's too hot here in Egypt.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't mind. I used to, you know, Los Angeles is a desert basically, so
Yeah.
hot and dry doesn't bother me too much. It's
Well,
actually,
nothing too crazy.
No,
It's not that hot, like,
uh
but it's hot.
no, I mean if you want to pack like clothes and stuff, just like know that to get like
yeah,
don't pack like don't overpack anything that because
yeah,
the weather here is very hot. So you're
yeah.
just gonna
I'm thinking it's going to be a lot of like cotton pants and polo shirts.
Yep. Linen,
yeah,
like something very
Yeah,
lightweight.
linen.
perfect.
Yeah, you
And
have
comfy
something
shoes.
linen.
And comfy shoes. You got it.
Very comfy shoes.
Sounds good.
We're gonna
And
take
Uh,
you
don't
to
forget
the
about
pyramids. We're
shirts.
gonna take
Oh, that's I was
I
wondering why
don't think
comfy. I was wondering why comfy shoes, but it's to tour some things, huh?
because we're gonna
yeah,
take him around, you know? We're not excited we are very excited, of course, but we're more excited for the day off that we're gonna spend all
yeah.
together because we
Well,
just know that we're
Sunday.
gonna be like very hyped up and we just wanna take him everywhere.
Okay, okay. So Sunday will be the day that you guys can take me wherever you want to go, and then the rest of the week we're working, but we'll have fun in between. But Sunday, I get in Saturday, early in the morning. So actually, I'll have Saturday and Sunday.
Amazing news.
So,
Can't
all
wait.
right.
okay, that's
Hey,
so cool.
yeah, I expected we were going to have a really light crew today. I got a lot of people traveling. So Cups, I wasn't sure if you were going to make it, but I want to go through. I think Cups the best things we can do right now is looking at LinkedIn through the lens of a framework to go beyond. We've done really well looking at how are we building our personal brands and how do we I see you everywhere and I feel like I already know you. And there's not like the algorithm changes are a little bit. There's some things that we could be doing with tweaking the style of some of the posts and stuff like that. But overall, I feel like the whole posting, blending our humanity with our business acumen. Um, I want to see people using for lack of it, we got to come up with a name, ladies, for our note taker. I really get great content cups by using the web app that'll soon, hopefully soon, become a mobile app. That if I have a thought or I finish a call, I just pop in and I go, okay, so this is what they asked, this is what they were concerned about, and this is what I explained, da da da, and then it pops in to the Twin and Creator Studio, and Daniel's finishing up the AI that when you do that, it'll also then go into your media library and the AI will search and recommend two or three pictures that could marry with your content. in a way to create your posts. I think all that is, I think most people have confidence in that, especially because you've got Reem doing a lot of it for you, so you don't have to think a whole lot um, with that. But I think this framework, and then using this framework as individuals, but also potentially at scale, is really the next thing that we need to master to really leverage LinkedIn as an effective platform.
Yep. Yeah, especially, I mean, I think we're still struggling with our target audience, though, right? And I'm not sure that just, I mean, this is, I'm not saying anything you said is incorrect, but I'm just suggesting that we're still, I mean, Reem, I don't know if you've looked at the 10 that I sent you, but there's still some of those that just don't participate in LinkedIn.
Yep.
And so
And
it's
what I
really, there's also this, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Go on.
I think there's this also, I don't know, there's this visual in my mind, and I don't even remember what tech company used to do it, but you have you in the center, and then you have kind of this outer ring, and then another outer ring, and then another outer ring, and
Yeah.
it's trying to find those outer rings that would influence that person in the middle. That, and I'm not in the middle. I'm saying like Marla Wilson at Elevance might be in the middle, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So that's the one thing, and I mean, I like the idea of the advertising that we at least texted about the other day,
Yeah.
Brandon. It's just a matter of how do we get it in front of the right face, you know?
Yeah. And that's where the advertising is doing well, because what you're saying is they're not active on LinkedIn, which for most of them, it's not totally true, but because they don't comment or
Yeah.
like a whole lot, they're not active in a way that we can engage with them and get their attention.
Yeah.
That's why I think the paid campaign strategy, and right now we're pretty early with like the groups that I belong to overall on marketing and video marketing and everything, they give LinkedIn about this much of their time. They're like Meta, TikTok, YouTube, all of this stuff. They're like, oh yeah, I was listening to another one this morning on my walk, and the guy literally gave about 15 seconds to LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Which is good because it means there's a lot of opportunity there. And I can show you what our data is doing, which has been really incredible. In fact, I can let me pull up. Shut that stuff. Oh my gosh, I got way too many windows open. Okay.
I always face the same issue.
Let me do this. Let me start here. Oops. So, and this is all in process, but this is the key thing. This is how we go to create conversations, cups, and create this omnipresence approach. There's a couple different ways that we can do interview on the show. This is what I've been doing with the trade shows.
Yep.
And for whatever, go away, whatever reason, it took me a while to go, wait, why are we not using this paid ad campaign in conjunction with our daily, weekly, monthly personal brand building activities? Why was I only doing it around the shows? I don't know, but here we are today. I would bring in multiple people from our client company into the studio, and we would do somewhere between, I always shot for 5 to 7 minutes of an interview. Then sometimes they went longer, and that was okay. But it was a basic format of welcome, tell me a little bit about who you are, and go through 4 questions. What's the biggest problem your clients are having right now? Why is that problem such a huge problem? Like, you get into the depth of like the pain point. We want to bring people down to the guttural, like, oh shit, I have that problem too. And then we start to bring them up and we go, well, what's the solution? And this is where your solution is, but we just touch on it briefly. We don't want to saturate them.
Yep.
We don't want to go overwhelm on too much detail because we don't want it to be salesy. We want it to be more of positioning you as the trusted advisor. And so we just kind of mention it in passing like it's no big deal. Oh yeah, this is what we do, and da 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 da. And then the last question is around proven results or social proof, and we do it in the form of a story. And because I'm the host, I get to set you up so that you're sharing your pitch without being pitchy. You're being polite, actually. You're my honored guest on my show, and you're answering my questions.
Yep.
It feels very organic. We do that again, 5 to 7 minutes, no more than 10, because LinkedIn doesn't let us do more than 10. And then we run that as a paid campaign to your ideal customer database. Now, Cups, this is where when I do it with the trade show, I like to get 3 to 5 people from your company, especially people who are going to be in the booth at the event, doing the same exact interview.
Yep.
And we rotate them around. That way they're seeing more people from your company, but they're constantly seeing your logo in the videos. And we would generally do those ads over 6 weeks leading up to the event. I think for daily, weekly, monthly outreach, we kick off with about 4 weeks of these paid ads. And then, and I know ActiveOps has their show. And I don't know, are you and Spencer doing your show anymore? I haven't seen that. I did see the new ActiveOps.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing it anymore.
Okay, I didn't think you were.
Yeah.
But this is where we can supplement it with the show.
Yeah.
When you have the show, and what I like about it is we can continue to put new video through paid campaigns in front of them. With the show, you're bringing on your guests, so we could leverage the guests' notoriety or popularity as well. And
Yep.
we keep in front of them, we keep you and your brand in front of them, and we're building that brand and that trusted advisor status, but we're leveraging other people. Like, you'll see the ad that I'm running right now is actually Alice Hyman on Mastering Modern Selling, like jumping out of her seat when she said, if any CEO out there is not on LinkedIn, then they are preventing sales. Like, that's my ad right now. And it's Alice Hyman saying it, like getting in CEOs' faces saying, get over yourself. Get your personal brand on LinkedIn, because no matter how much you think your team should be talking to other people, when you have a CEO title and you show up, people want to talk to you. So you have to be there to draw them in, and stop being mad at your team because they're not getting the leads and the conversations. You need to lead it. You need to be front and center. Let it come through you and then push it out to your team. That's what Alice said on our show, which was perfect for me. And so we clipped it and turned it into an ad. Then, and we keep that going in this omnipresence. So whenever that, because it is a paid campaign, Cups, the people on your database that right now they're not active, they're going to see those ads, because LinkedIn is going to show it to them, because that's how they get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Yep.
we'll start getting more organic traffic to your profiles and all that type of stuff. But We'll also get more of them accepting your connection requests and all that type of
Are you
activity.
are you entering in when your target audience? Are you entering in titles or companies or both?
Good question. Ideally, I like to get a very specific database of people.
Okay.
And then we can, if it's too small of a population, then we will supplement it with titles in companies and get it so that we're doing our scatter approach. We're going to get other people around your ideal customer.
And what's the minimum number of targets?
Um, I like to say 1,500. You can do less than that with LinkedIn. I think you can do 1,000. I find that like we just did a database upload for a client with 1,500 people on it, and we had an 85% acceptance rate, which means we're about 1,300 people are on it, which was good. But if you load a database of 1,000 and you get like a 60 or 70% acceptance and you got like 600 people, it's just not big enough of a size. And then we have to supplement it with more generic targeting.
Yeah.
And I mean, it still works, but it's not getting you as targeted to the people you really want to talk to. And I have a new resource. He's done a really good job. I think I've used him 3 times now. He's out of Bangladesh, and he charges me $1,000 for 5,000 targeted list, specifically for our LinkedIn ads, which is first name, last name, email address, company name, which is really all we need.
What was it? Email address, first name, last, is that what you said? First name, last name, and company?
First name, last name, email, company name, and company country.
No title.
It's not necessary because hi, James. I think that was James.
Yeah.
I couldn't see you. I was sharing my screen.
All good.
Yeah, it's not necessary because what LinkedIn will do is they're gonna run that email address we provide them, and they'll run it across their master databases. And generally, LinkedIn's got 2, 3, 4 email addresses attached to each person, so they cross-reference it and in order to identify the people we want to get in front of.
Okay. You guys are familiar with Zoom info.
Yeah.
I'm sure. So we've got that. I can build list off of Zoom info.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like Zoom info. We switched to Rocket Reach, which is pretty close to crap, but it still has some. Brandon, does it matter if it's work? Is it work email or personal email or both, or it doesn't matter to make those matches?
Both. Yeah, that's the good thing because their master list, they're collecting emails to connections all over the internet. So their master databases help us connect people. Even if we have personal email, we can still find them on LinkedIn.
Okay.
And a lot of times, I mean, shy of C-suite and owners, a lot of people use their personal email address to log into LinkedIn anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In case they lose their job.
You know what's great about Zoom Info, James, you may already use it, but that Zoom in, I forget what it was called, that plugin, a Chrome plugin.
Yeah, I've got it.
Yeah, I used to take people from Sales Navigator into Zoom Info and then into my CRM and it would add the data all to it. It was awesome. So.
Yeah, I'm just waiting on Fistbump to integrate into our CRM.
There you go. Wonder, is there anybody we could talk to about that?
We are integrated into LeadSmart.
Are you? Okay.
If you're not integrated in LeadSmart, then Tom didn't do it.
Well, he hasn't done it. He hasn't done it yet. We're still trying to get reports and dashboards worked out. We're getting. I mean, that's going to be my next phase.
Got it. Cool. So let me show you the rest of this, and this is how we attach it to, monthly outreach. Um, I believe, your organic social commenting for leadership, personal brand building. We have got to, and Alice Hyman and even Daniel Disney, I don't know if you guys saw our show this week, our 100th episode, and Daniel Disney was saying the same thing. So I don't feel like I've been so crazy with so many people honestly laughing at me to ignoring me over the last year and a half of going, if you are a CEO or a president, you have got to build your personal brand. It's like the best strategic advantage you can do because so many CEOs are hiding behind, oh, I don't have time to do it. And
Mhm.
I'll say it as a CEO, it's you're scared. Call it, you don't want to look stupid.
Yep.
So you say you don't have time. And quite honestly, it's bullshit. You
Well,
just don't want to figure it
outside
out.
of your comfort zone. You haven't done it before. So that's the other thing. It's the ramp up time
Yeah.
and you're not seeing results quickly. And so it's frustrating. And
Yeah.
it's
And
easy to go back
this
to stuff you already know.
exactly. And that's why I think and James, I don't know if you were on when I was telling Cups this. I don't know what my problem was, guys, and I feel bad. I feel like I let people down. Like I've been doing these paid campaigns around driving traffic to booths for a year now, over a year. And it's honestly been our most successful thing that we've been doing. And I didn't connect it of going, why are we not doing paid campaigns to the personal brand building? And for whatever reason, it just didn't click in my brain. And now that I got the wires in the right spot, I'm going, oh my gosh, this is what we need to do to supplement and make our organic personal brand building accelerate faster and be more valuable for outreach, for daily, weekly, monthly pipeline and revenue growth. So we need leadership, active, personal brand consistently, whether they use us or not. I just think it's so important. We maintain the weekly, monthly paid campaigns. I love the concept of using the show or podcasts as that extra touch, especially because they won't get tired of seeing you because you constantly have a different guest. And and you'll see when I get down to the bottom, we use bringing people on as a guest is one of the best ways to start conversations with our ideal customers.
Mm-hmm.
We invite them to be a guest, and that's how we start building a relationship with them. And then we do have organic social for all team, which I think is valuable. But I would take these two, the leadership and the paid campaign with your live show and podcast, over the rest of the team doing it. But I think those are the three things that we can do best. And what we're doing with all these, as you guys know, it's thought leadership. It's not salesy. We're bringing in humanity. Our goal is I see you everywhere and I feel like I already know you. And that's going to be you as the leadership, but also the bigger you as the brand. I see you all everywhere. I feel like I know you all. That's what we're doing with this strategy. You guys want to jump in on anything?
Cups, I've gotten great feedback from our conversation. I mean, I thought we
Okay.
got a lot of really good engagement, and I've got one direct message from a client, a CEO of a client of ours, Nima. She asked if I wanted to join the chamber, but she also said, "Hey, um, I saw your podcast with Michael Cups. I'm actually going to check out his stuff. You guys had a really good conversation. I didn't get a chance to listen to all of it, but it was helpful."
Nice.
So it's kind of a multi-weave,
Yeah.
multi angle, but Brandon, to your point though, using the podcast to leverage, right, guest connections, ideal customer. Nima is an ideal customer for us in EMA. They do logistics. So I don't know if an introduction would make sense for you guys. maybe Brandon, fist bump, but being able to highlight that I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
And see, what I like about that, James, for you is she reached out to you because of something on the show, and yes, she wanted to invite you to join the chamber. But that's the easiest jump to go, hey, let's get together for a coffee or lunch.
Right. Right.
And because you're the president, of course she's going to want to do that. And I get it that it'd be nice if your sales team could do more of this. But you lead it and then hand it off to somebody, go have lunch, talk about, hey, and maybe you join the chamber for a year because it's an expense. It's worth it to get them in as a prospective client or a client into Perimeter.
No, don't have the marketing dollars.
Right.
I don't want to throw my dollars down the trash can.
Right.
Yeah. Chambers have never been that, anyway, I'm trying to do it outside the chamber, but
yeah, but the model's there, whether that was the perfect one or not, we get more of those coming to us. Then here's where the outreach activities, and I've got 30 to 50 a week was geared around a sole producer on a database of about 1,500 to 2,000. And the reason I said 30 to 50 a week, and the numbers might be different, but quality over quantity is going to go faster right now. Take the time to do a bit of research. Go to their about sections, do a quick Google or Gemini search. That's one of the beautiful things of AI is we don't have to just do a generic search, but we can start asking AI, have they been on any podcasts? Have they written any blogs? Have they been featured in the news? Ask it, what are good ways that I could find connection with this person and stand out? I sent one out to a CEO of a company the other day because I read through her whole about section and she talked about wanting, I think I showed you guys last week, maybe, how she was starting to play golf and she loves red wine.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I saw that you love red wine. I'm like, I suck at golf, but I'm pretty good at drinking red wine. My favorite right now is a Quilceda Creek out of Washington. Have you ever had it? And she accepted my connection request really quick. So I think with the outreach, with the calls and the emails, going a little bit slower. I know that it's a bit of the antithesis of sales leaders, 150 calls a day, 200 calls a day, pound, pound, pound. Our buyers are getting so pounded that we have to be different. We have to look for ways to be different. And that's where the show and then everything else. So calls, outbound personalized emails, short, quick, brilliant, but personalized the best that we can. Again, leverage Gemini or ChatGPT and look for those things. Where can I connect with them? Think about it. There was one of my groups was sharing it the other day. The person he wanted to talk to received an award as a woman of the year for a certain thing. And this guy has 3 sisters and 2 daughters. And so he kind of leveraged that as going, hey, I saw this, congratulations, as the only son of 4 with 3 sisters and a dad of 2 daughters, da 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 da. And she responded very personally to him. Instead of it being sales pitchy, it was more of connecting, that type of stuff that I think we should do. So there's a lot of, a couple different ways if we're not using a live show podcast that we're going to be a guest on, or even have the live show or podcast that we could share episodes with very specific reasons why that are valuable for them. we still at least have that omnipresence, that brand building, that personal brand building. I see you everywhere. I feel like I already know you. That at least differentiates us quite a bit. And then being much more personalized with the messages, whether it's a call or an email. And I do like with newsletters too. I'm just a big believer right now. We've got to get away from all pitchy. Like 90% of what we should be sharing is thought leadership and helping them with their problems today. And 10% of it is a little bit about who we are. But even then, doing it as stealth as possible. So we're not just in their face with buy my shit, because it's so saturated. And I mean, just think about your own activities and how quickly we just go, ugh, of anything that's trying to get us to buy something, because we all know when I need something, I'll go find it. Or when I need something, I already know somebody who I'm going to go to.
I've been having this reoccurring image in my head, and I don't know if me trying to explain it right now is going to give it justice, or I need to spend some more time thinking about it. But I would love to be able to see a visual image of 10 years ago. What was the number of vendors available to a consumer, and what was the frequency at which all of those vendors were engaging with those consumers, versus now in today's world, how many more independent or specialized vendors are there, and then the rate of frequency of communicating with those consumers. It's got to have exponentially increased on both fronts, is what my gut says. And I think that's what's driving the decision fatigue, the lack of return calls, and the frustration on so many different. The barrier to entry into business is a lot easier now because people buy online and website, and anybody can put up a website and try and sell anything.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts or feedback on that?
Well, I think you're spot on. And the first thing that it made me think of is because I've been saying stories along those lines for years now. And this is the kind of the bad part of the internet, if you will. There's so many, and startup culture in general. VCs and angel investors started funding companies who never should have been funded. And what happened is, like the MarTech, gosh, Cups, do you know this? I can't remember what year it was. I think Scott created the MarTech 250 in 2009 as a way for people to understand the 250 marketing technology platforms that were in the space. Scott, I forgot his last name. He's the chief ideologist, I think, at HubSpot. But he came out with the MarTech 250. They stopped changing the name. The next year it was like the MarTech 500, and then it was the MarTech 1000, and they stopped changing the name when it hit the MarTech 10,000.
Okay.
Even though there were well over 10,000 marketing technology companies.
Okay. I didn't know what MarTech stood for, so marketing technology. Okay.
Yeah. But that's what, and then on top of that, you have all these people that were the expert culture, and people that were doing all these courses that were teaching people how to pitch. They were teaching people how to create messaging, how to pitch. You had training programs teaching people how to make phone calls. You had predictable revenue that came out in 2009 that was teaching everybody how Salesforce grew, which was the SDR model, and making phone calls. And then you had all the phone automation tools that came in. So now all of a sudden you've got these 20, 30,000 companies that are new, and this is just marketing. This isn't all the other companies that are out there. And they're all using email automation, phone call automation, SDRs, and LinkedIn messaging automation to go try and get and talk to their ideal customer. And we have just completely fatigued ourselves.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's where the opportunity is. So we have, this is a little bit counterintuitive, but the way that we market and build brand awareness is to stop selling, provide leadership,
I want to
provide,
scream when I hear you say that, Brandon,
what's that?
because I want to scream out loud, so loud when I hear you say that. Stop selling. I'm like, no, sell
I know.
more.
Well, and that's just it. Why I say it's so counterintuitive. But think about it. How many sales pitch messages do you actually pay attention to anymore?
I don't know. I mean, I accept that I'm the anomaly because may not be listening to the pitch to actually buy it. I'm actually listening to the pitch to dissect it and try to understand the mechanisms that they're using themselves
Yeah.
to try to employ myself. So,
No, I get that.
but I understand your point.
Yeah. But how much content do you pay attention to that you think is going to teach you something or help you think about something?
A ton.
Right. That's why bringing this full circle, the interview style video with you as the honored guest, with somebody like a host asking you questions. And so you're just answering their questions. You're not talking about yourself. You're not pitching. You're just answering their questions. But we've got it strategized so that I'm asking you the right 4 questions.
Mm.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Oh, how did you get in that role? Okay. So what's the biggest challenge your customers are facing right now? Oh, wow. That's interesting. Why is that so important? Like what's going to happen to companies if they don't solve it? Like, World War III and oh my gosh, well, what can they do? Like, man, this sounds really, really serious. What can they do? And you give a little bit, we don't go into pitch mode. You just kind of throw it out there like, we've got the golden ticket, right? Willy Wonka, I've got the golden ticket, right? I've got the golden ticket. And then the host just moves you right along. Well, give me an example. Tell me somebody that's actually done, oh, you know what? It reminds me of our client, and they were here, they were going through this, we implemented this, and now they're here. And you do that with 1 or 2, and I go, well, we're out of time. Thank you so much for being here. And then we put that in front of your ideal customers. And I'll show you. Let me pull up this one specific one because they said I could show people. Let's see, practice manager, fist bump campaign. Okay.
While you're looking for that, James, I wanted to mention I think it was Shopify. It's one of those e-commerce vendors or, e-commerce platforms that actually did have a video that you were describing earlier where you have this, it was like a community store and how they were pitching it as a bad thing. You only have access to people that walk in your door, and then they expanded it out because they want everybody to be on e-commerce platform. But it was kind of it was that narrative from the flip side saying, don't be in that small community, expand your capabilities. But I'd have to go back and look. It was years ago when I saw it, but it was exactly what you described visually. But the interesting thing about that is, if you think about it, we're trying to get back to, somebody runs across somebody in the library and says, "Oh, you're looking for that? Call Brandon." So
Right.
Yep.
So, real quick, if I could distill that, consumers are being encouraged and pushed to expand their purchasing options, and as vendors, we're trying to narrow our consumers' awareness to our competitors and only to ourselves.
I would say call it mind share. We want to get their mind share. Yep.
So that's that conflict is that's the current that we are fighting.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And it's the style of content is winning.
Yeah.
And pitch, salesy. It's been dying for a long time. It's just been, I mean, Jill Rowley, who influences me since, I don't know, I think I started talking with her, following her since 2016, 2015, where she was on stage going, pitch, salesy. It does not work. And it's hard because, like James, if you said, like our CEO, our president, our head of sales, I got to go make commissions, whatever instinct is, la, 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 I need to go, I have control.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go do this way because I can control it. And that's just it. We're not in control anymore. The internet has taken that away from us because our buyers can get any piece of information they want at any time, and they can get connected to anybody at any time. And so our information is nothing. We have to figure out how to get their attention in a different way. And pitch, sell is just not doing it. So let me show you this. So, in the last week, we ran 2 different campaigns. I've got 2 more videos that we will swap out. In fact, I think we're going to finish up this one today and the other one tomorrow. But I want you to see a couple things here. So $200 we spent on Wendy's campaign. Less than $200 we spent for Dr. McClellan's campaign. Here's the impressions, which I don't care that much about because, as you said, James, we're talking about mind share. This is where I think a lot of marketers, cups, like professional marketing teams, been doing this forever. They like to show impressions at the boardroom because that's a really impressive number.
Right.
Mm.
But the impression doesn't mean squat. Like it means somebody watched at least 3 seconds of a video. It doesn't get mind share. It just gives you an impression. Like here's the plays. Oh, we had 27,000 plays. But as a CEO, I look at that and go, so what? I want people. Now, we did have calls to action for clicks, but we did not care about the clicks. And I know, again, James, you probably wanted to just punch me through the screen because I said we don't care about clicks.
Not yet.
But we
sold on this technology thing.
But so much of the clicks are just wasted, and you pay a lot more. Like ours, it's like the call to action comes included with the ad. We're not making this a CTA ad, which is 10 times more expensive than what we're paying right now. But this is what we're going for. So there you can see average dwell time. These are the impressions. So the average person was, which is still actually pretty good, 16 and 14 seconds. But this is where I want to go. We've had 352 people in a database that was customized for people who we know this customer wants to speak to. And this is for an event. They got an event coming up on September 12th, which means I'm flying on September 11th again this year. It's like the 3rd time I've flown on September 11th. It's always weird. But we have 352 people that have watched 100% of this 9-minute video. And I haven't done the numbers yet on Dr. McClellan's, but just on Wendy's, hers between, and then was it 234?
Yeah.
Were 75%, and 382 were 50%. We had 108 hours of her interview being viewed by their ideal customers, and her interview was exactly like I said. So what are the biggest problems your clients are having? Why is this such a big deal? Oh my gosh, that's like If they don't solve this, that's a big freaking deal. And they got me as a host saying it instead of her. So I'm making it a big deal. And then we just go down that path. And so now I'll get the numbers here for Dr. McClellan, who's actually had more, which again, she's a consultant. This is one of their clients. And this one is slightly different. So Dr. McClellan, you own an oral surgical center. You got 2 locations. Hey, what's your biggest challenge right now? What does it mean for your practice if you don't solve it? What have you done to solve it? Oh, we hired a practice manager, and what they did, they brought in da 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 da. And I said, oh, well, tell me, how has it been great? What are some of the results? And he gave me 2 different results. And I said, oh, thank you so much for joining us on the show. And that's what this video is. So Strategized, one of their consultants, one of their clients. I've got another client, and then I have their founder, or the 4 videos that we're running on this campaign.
Is that a medical doctor, Brandon, that's doing that?
Yeah, they're oral surgeons.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, specialty dentistry.
And they find their audience on, I mean, everybody has teeth, I guess, but they use LinkedIn as opposed to Facebook or something else.
Yeah, well, this is a consulting. E-practice manager consults oral surgeons.
Oh, okay. It's not the oral
Yeah.
surgeon advertising
No,
for
no, no.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah. But and then like, I should have pulled it up. It'll take me too long to find it. But with, and Seth had somebody do this when we did this. We did a very small version. They didn't have a big budget. We did a very small version of this for Competitive Solutions when they went to Modex. And I kept telling Seth, I go, here's what happens. I know it sounds unbelievable, but people walk into your booth and it's almost like mini celebrity status, like they've seen you so much for 6 to 8 weeks leading up to the show that when they see you, they go, and they walk in and they go, oh, like this guy walked in, he goes, Seth, hey, I've been seeing your videos. I really want to talk to you guys about what you do. And Seth looks over at me like, holy shit, that really, you said that was going to happen. I'm like, and I've got Ludia Consulting. And unfortunately, it's taken me 8 months to get Lucas to actually sit down and do the testimonial video. But we did this for them with Community Summit last year. And their goal was $1 million in pipeline from this 4-day event. And they walked out with 3.92 million in qualified pipeline. We almost 4x their goal. And it was the same thing. It's people were walking down the aisle and they look over and they recognize the brand or they recognize people and they just walk in. It's kind of like that celebrity thing where they come up to you and act, well, it doesn't happen to us, but people walk up to them and act like they know them. The celebrity's like, who are you? I believe for us to take LinkedIn to the next level, organically, we can keep doing what we're doing and it's going to work, but it's going to take longer to get there. And over the next couple years, I think that LinkedIn is going to move more and more into the pay to play. And so we're getting an early start on it. Let's leverage these inexpensive ads. And I showed you guys on there the expense, like we were less than $400 on those 2 campaigns so far.
In what period was that? Is that a week? Is that a month? Is that?
We ran Wendy's ad for 5 days and spent $200, and we're running Dr. McClellan's for 5 days. I think we did a $15 or $20 a day max to test it. And then we've got the 2 other videos and we're going to do the same cadence with, and then we're going to look at the ads and see which one has done the best. And we'll rerun that one for the last like 5 days leading up to the event. And then what we do at the event, if you want to know, is, and this is why I go in the morning of each of the day of the event, I interview 2 or 3 people in the booth. We quickly edit it, and then we run it as a geofence ad. We run it on Meta for a 1 mile radius of the event center. Because what do people do at events when they have to go to the restroom? They pull out their phone and they look at Facebook or Instagram and see what's going on. Or when they're in line to get food, they're looking at Facebook or Instagram to see what's going on in the world. We're at their show. And because our geofence ad is within a 1 mile radius, it's almost guaranteed that they're going to see the ad, the video, and it's somebody being interviewed inside of a booth. And then again, people walk by and they go, "Oh, I saw you guys earlier today." And they just walk right in the booth. Like, what's going on?
So we're geofencing toilets now.
I mean, look, right before I went on with you guys for our coaching today, I walked into the restroom here at our office, and there's some dude sitting on a toilet on the phone having a sales conversation with some guy. Well, I'm flushing the urinal when I'm done and washing my hands, and he's in there on a sales call. I'm like, oh my gosh, people are out of control.
That's
On a
fun.
video sales call? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Have a little modicum here, people.
I know. Well,
That's
hey, Cups, do you
good.
see that when you travel?
Yeah, all the time. I can't fathom somebody having a conversation while they're in the restroom. It just doesn't make sense. But
Yeah,
I'm
they walk.
embarrassed
They,
for them.
yes,
they-
exactly.
I mean, I always have another call coming in. So, hey, let me call you right back. Right.
Yeah.
So, take care of your, anyway.
I'm
Yeah.
usually, hey, I just got off the plane and I need to go to the restroom. I'll call you back when I'm done. Like, I'd rather just be, but these guys that walk in, they got their AirPods in, they walk right in the restroom.
Yeah.
It's packed, flushes and going on everywhere. And they just keep their conversation going like no big deal. I'm just like, really? What's that?
Noise canceling's good, but it's not that good.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Uh,
It's
Hey, we got some conferences coming up in October, Brandon. It might be interesting to give that that strategy a whirl to see what kind of leverage we could get from it. Is that possible to explore?
yeah.
For
Absolutely.
myself, we're doing 4 different conferences, like purchasing conferences, K-12 conferences, government
Yeah.
procurement. So I'd be curious to see if we can figure something out between now and then.
Yeah, we're working on 3 conferences right now. One in a Microsoft ecosystem, the one I just showed you, and another one in Microsoft ecosystem with a partner of ours. I said, I don't know why it took me so long to but we've turned on our own fist bump ads following this model now.
Yeah. Cool.
all right.
Well,
And the key
Cups,
there too, James, in Cups real quick is, the database that we're focused on with the ads, it becomes a database and you hand to your sales team as they're making the calls. And if it plays out the same as we see in the booths, they walk in and go, "Oh, I see you guys everywhere." They should be getting more people taking their calls because, "Oh, I've seen you all over. I've seen you everywhere. I feel like I know you guys." And the strategy, of course, could be have them call and don't ask for a meeting, but share. Hey, there's this episode of our show where James was talking to Cups on time management that's been really well received.
Yeah.
And see how that works.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, James, you were about to say something, but I was going to tell you, I need to send you a couple of times to do Time Bandit and 10 with me.
yes. Yeah. And I was going to say, I feel silly for not knowing about the app, the Time Bandit app, and felt like we could have gotten into that a little bit more. But
yeah, it is launched. I still I'm not pushing it real hard. I'm going to start. I think the fix that goes out today to the Apple Store fixed a couple of little things that I didn't like. So I didn't want too many people trying it and getting
Okay.
like,
Fair
this
enough.
doesn't work. But I think it's now it's getting where it's ready for prime time, I think. So
all right. Well, when it is, let me know, and then I could push that out and kind of plug our podcast and highlight that again.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Awesome. We'll do the same. Brandon, thanks for the conversation today. I hear you on the advertisement. I'm just trying to figure out where it fits.
I know.
For Active Ops, I am going to be with the new managing director first week of September, and he's got a massive ego, so he may be a good prospect for you to go around Bavesh and just sell directly to him. But outside of that, we are trying to invest in a couple of trade shows that may or may not come together. Just depends. So I'm aware of it all. I just don't know when and how to best
Yeah, I
position.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think getting your new guy out of the UK around this, and I think it's harder with the UK too because English people are so yeah. Not it's
Yeah.
can't be about me. They say it's modest. I think it's fake modesty, but whatever.
Yeah.
proper.
Well, go ahead.
You're being proper. It's proper. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
this guy is outside that cut, but he also is he's not active on LinkedIn either for some reason. So
Hmm.
yeah. But anyway,
Usually the same reason. They say they don't have time, but it means they don't know what to do. And the reality is it scares the hell out of them to ruin their career by doing something stupid.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not sure who I'm going to get to lead next week yet. I've got a few probes out, but I will be probably in air on my way to Cairo during our training next week. So
Whoa.
yeah. So I leave late Thursday night and I arrive Saturday morning. So nothing like a good 36 hours of travel.
Just make sure you
Oh my
listen
God.
to the Bangles song on continuous loop on your flight
There
over
you
there,
go.
so you can walk
Yeah.
like an Egyptian. I had to say
That's
it.
right. Yeah.
Had to work that in.
That was like
Well,
a prepared
well,
joke.
No, it
Reed-
wasn't. It wasn't a prepared joke, but I'm glad I pulled it out. And Reem, when that song probably came out, you weren't even born, I'm sure.
No,
No way.
no way.
True.
Or I
No. Because
I
I
got
think
to I
that
got to
came
run.
out.
Go.
see you, Cups.
You got it, guys.
Hey, Brandon, I want to get you some
See you,
some
Cups.
pop pens. Take some pop pens or some hats, some garb over to the team over in
Cool.
Cairo.
Yeah.
That'd be
Oh,
awesome.
that'd be so cool.
Yeah, get it over to me. In fact, we've got to order shirts. I keep forgetting we got to order shirts so they're ready for us for that week. We're gonna do some videos for our website. We're gonna do fist bump shirts. Instead of me taking a bunch of shirts here, we're just gonna order them in Egypt.
Smart.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sweet.
Alrighty, y'all.
Great seeing you guys.
James, I might send some things with Brandon to you. Just
I
I'm
will
game.
be,
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as it's all legal, I don't want to end up in
Don't
prison
worry,
somewhere
it's all
because I was a
legal.
mule. You guys,
I'm really
No.
into exotic animals, by the way. So if you could go ahead and send those over.
Oh, we have plenty in Egypt.
We don't know
worry.
what happened
I'll
to
send you
Brandon. He got held up in customs.
you know what? I will
Oh,
bring
yeah, but-
I will bring a second suitcase just to bring stuff back.
Yeah.
James, here in Egypt, the exotic animals are eaten. We eat them, like all of them. So might send them cooked.
Okay. Cool. I'm down. I love it.
So when you guys are telling me we're going to go out to dinner, what are you guys going to try and get me to eat?
Yeah, like an alligator tail or something.
Oh, that's good.
I don't
No,
mind.
no, no. No, 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 no. Reem, you're so
I'm just kidding, you
exciting.
guys. Look
No,
at
we
Brandon's face.
No, we eat pigeons and we eat rabbits.
Rabbit. Okay.
And duck.
Yeah. I've eaten rabbit. I've eaten alligator. I haven't eaten pigeon.
But pigeons are so nice. They're so good here in Egypt.
Yeah, but
They're
Brendan,
so,
pigeons
so
are
good.
not. You don't eat them with your hands. You have to like bite into them like directly. You just don't like.
Yeah,
don't,
no,
like,
you eat them with
do-
your hand.
No, with your. You just bite into the pigeon. You just like.
Brandon, I don't know about you, but when I think
see you-
pigeon, I think like gross New York City
Yeah,
down in the yeah.
yeah.
Maybe
Me too.
it's
No,
out
French
there.
people, they eat pigeons too.
Yeah.
That doesn't change my mind.
Yeah, it doesn't. I think of pigeons that are eating all the crap that people throw on the ground in New York
But they
City. And,
taste fantastic.
Yeah.
Fresh
I mean,
chef's kiss.
James,
Shrimp and
I
lobster.
will send you. I'll send you a cooked pigeons so you can just like reheat them and eat them.
Brendan is not flying with that.
I'm down. Cool. All right. Hey, Reem, let's schedule a time. I'm getting over a sickness right now, so I don't know if today,
Okay, we can move it to Monday. It's okay. It's okay.
Monday afternoon. Yeah,
Yep.
let's do that.
Yep.
Good
I'll
seeing
ping
you
you.
guys.
Don't worry.
Bye, guys.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Bye.
Bye bye.